30 minutes past 12 o'clock, as I've said earlier, that we have already listened to the podcast that was produced by Enoki Kaumba, a very, very interesting podcast that is, in this topic, we want to debunk or to expose false around the COVID-19 pandemic. And today's topic, we are watching the anti-vaccine, as they are saying they don't want the vaccine to come, but we need to make sure that they get the right information at the right moment. As I said earlier, that I will be speaking to Charmaine Ngatjiheue, a journalist from the Namibian newspaper. First, welcome, for the first time, welcome to Omaheke Radio.
Thank you very much, Edwin. It's a pleasure to be on your show.
Thank you very much. Now, Charmaine, we are discussing about the anti-vaccine. People are not sure about this vaccine.
Yeah.
Perhaps what makes the people not to be sure about this vaccine?
You know, Evan, I don't blame people for being scared, hey, because of, the vaccine is new. They have all these reasons. Some people even decide they don't have their children immunized because, the vaccine can cause, can cause allergies. Other people are saying the vaccine was created too fast. Why couldn't they do the same for HIV and AIDS or cancer and so forth? I really do not blame people and their fear. And this should be validated. Their fear should be validated. The issue around this is the fact that our leaders, our governments world over, Namibia included, should be able to educate people, around the vaccine, especially seeing that it was done so, it was fast-paced. It's a pandemic. We didn't know how to address it. And it was done, all these international pharmaceutical companies came up with this, and it was a great initiative. But what needs to be done right now is just to sensitize people to the vaccine. Just educate people, send out pamphlets, put things on social media, use every kind of social media platform to just educate people. Tell them, this is the vaccine. These are the ingredients in the vaccine. The vaccine won't cause this. Or explain to people, similar to you being vaccinated for polio, vaccinated for any other ailment, or even people who are on contraceptives. Some of the ingredients in the vaccine is similar to what is what is in this vaccine. So they just need to just educate people, and that's, I think, one of the things that we need to call for. And also people themselves should be able to read, hey? We need to read and read and read. Instead of being opposed to getting vaccinated once it's available in Namibia, I think we need to do our own research, isn't it? Just read. Yeah, thank you. That's basically what I can say to this.
I think now the other day the president says he is willing to be tested the first one. I'm saying the other day His Excellency the President agreed to be the first one to be tested with this vaccine. What message does he send to our people?
What message?
What message does he send to the Namibian people?
He is trying to tell people that, this vaccine is safe. Guys, it is safe. Although the one we are getting is 70%, but he's basically trying to tell, I can hear myself in the background. Hello?
Hello, yeah.
Yes, basically the message he's sending through is to say that it is safe, and to prove to you guys that this vaccine is safe, I will be the first in line to get it. And I think he's trying to sort of build confidence in citizens. He wants us to, be comfortable once it's available and just take this vaccine. And I think that is leadership at its best. That is leadership. The fact that the president himself has decided, not even the minister. We've asked these questions before. Who will be the first senior ministers and government officials to take this vaccine? And I'm glad the president came out and said he will be the first. And let us hope that he will keep to his word, because once it's here, we won't know. So we need to hold him accountable to what he has said. And it's quite commendable actually that he decided he will be the first in line, and then because he is also vulnerable considering age, or from the definition of vulnerable in terms of age. So we'll wait and see, and then maybe then he can lead by example, and then other people follow suit, including maybe journalists such as yourself as well.
Now, let's go to social media. People nowadays, each and every news it's on social media. Each and every article is published on social media, especially WhatsApp and Facebook. How should one make sure that this message or this news is credible and also fact?
It all boils down to reading, Edwin? We must read, because we tend to go on social media. You see things that are spreading, these WhatsApp groups, where especially our parents are spreading things that they got from someone, and it goes to everyone. I think we should read. And also, some of our parents, they just see these things at the face value, and then that's it. But as younger people, maybe we need to go in depth. Go Google it, go research, go speak to your friends who are doctors, go speak to other researchers just to find out more. Is this really the correct information regarding this and that? I saw this on social media. And then only then can this be addressed. But also people of influence. I saw, for instance, that Michael Amushelelo, who went and he spread all of these things about the COVID vaccine and saying it's what. And that time Namibia didn't even have the vaccine here already,
Now,
so it's all about reading.
Charmaine, the other thing, our government also responded to this social media information. But how should they implement a law that will be criminalizing people publication and dissemination, whether online or offline, that are causing this false information?
The what? You are breaking off. I'm also at a very messy place.
I'm saying our government currently now there is no law that can criminalize these people that are publicating.
I mean that is that still to this day. We don't. It's useless. At least, So I mean, we haven't seen it really do its job. We are still waiting. So until then, I cannot comment on this one. Yeah.
And
I mean, you saw in the column as well.
Yes.
It's a good move that we have, a law that can address disinformation and so forth. But is it really doing what it's supposed to do? Well, let's wait. Maybe it's still too soon. We don't know.
Yes. And there is another question that came through here from a listener asking, the vaccine was supposed to be in Namibia already. So now what? The vaccine was supposed to be in Namibia, but there is a delayment. Perhaps.
Yeah, it was supposed to be here, but I think, sorry for the English, but I think what happened, there was some form of miscommunication somewhere, somehow, or maybe also, procurement of this thing could be part of the delays, but I do not know what the technical delay was. I didn't really inquire, but there was a delay, because initially they thought we were going to get the Pfizer vaccine by the end of this month, at the end of last month. But there's a lot of, when it comes to procurement, there's a lot of things that need to be followed before something gets here. So I could be like somewhere there was a delay in procurement and then this happened. But let's hope that by mid to end of Feb, the vaccine will be here. But people will be skeptical because of the fact that it's only 70% effective. The AstraZeneca vaccine, the vaccine that we are getting. But we'll wait and see, But delays, of course, there might still be delays because it's a process, like procurement, and with the new procurement laws, these things might be delayed. And also, hopefully, maybe they are trying to avoid corruption, but you never know. We'll see.
Another question that came through, the Namibian tweeted a tweet on 27th of January 2021 this year, but they used people abroad that are living abroad in that clip, and they are saying how sure are they not trying to manipulate people in Namibia so that they can take the vaccine?
Who is trying to manipulate people in Namibia?
So that they can take the vaccine.
I'm saying that is the question that government is trying to manipulate people to take the
No,
vaccine?
the question came from a listener says, in the Namibian Twitter feed on the 27th of January, in the podcast that we played now, most of the voices that were used there are people abroad, not based in Namibia.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, okay. The person, Dr. Hopwood,
yes.
who took the vaccine in Europe. Oh, so is the person saying it's basically trying to manipulate us?
Yeah. Why?
To take the vaccine?
Because
that is not the case at all. Because the idea was to show the idea with the doctor and with that podcast it was to show that. We were looking for Namibians abroad who got vaccinated, right? Because the vaccine was already abroad, but the vaccine is not in Namibia, right? So it was just to show that maybe from a perspective of a Namibian who is abroad and who could advise or like sort of encourage locals to also say, you know what, I took the vaccine and I'm fine and I don't have any side effects, right? So the idea is not to manipulate locals to take the vaccine at all. The idea is to tell you that a Namibian who has taken the vaccine, and they are actually attesting to the fact that if they are fine, you know. So there was no manipulation at all in that case.
I mean, questions are coming through. One here says, who can get this vaccine? Is it people who have been exposed with the virus or every Namibian?
Okay, so ideally, the first people who are supposed to get the vaccine are, so they're looking at vulnerable people and then people on the front line. So vulnerable people are elderly and also people with underlying health conditions. You know, people who can easily be, sorry, I'm in a very loud place. Yeah, but we're basically looking at people who are vulnerable, right? The elderly people, and then people who are already sickly, and or both, elderly and sickly, or with other underlying conditions, diabetes and so forth. They are very susceptible to getting the virus or to contracting COVID-19. And then also after that group, then they will be looking at frontline workers. Frontline workers is now, all healthcare workers are frontline workers, but we also have other frontline workers. Like, for instance, Dr. Shampula is a frontline worker. We have us journalists who have to cover a lot of things. We are frontline workers. So, but I don't know if journalists are going to be counted in that. But I think mostly the major people who will be counted for this vaccine are healthcare workers and the vulnerable people. So for now, and then eventually what government is doing, so first they want to vaccinate 20% of the population when the first doses come, I think this year, and then eventually move on to 40%. And then I think apparently to create herd immunity, at least 60% of the population needs to be vaccinated. But I don't think that would be possible this year because you already, it might be possible towards the end of the year to vaccinate 60% of the population. So eventually 60% of the population and then all Namibians then will be qualifying. But then it will be voluntary, eh? So they will not force you to be vaccinated. You can volunteer.
So I mean, this is my question to you. Are you willing to take the vaccine voluntarily?
I wasn't expecting that. No, I will get vaccinated. I will definitely, because not only because I want to show people that the vaccine is safe, but just because I need to protect, I need to protect my family. Right? I might not know. I have a small daughter. I don't want her, although they say children are safe, they can recover. But I also have, my mom who's older and so forth. So I am willing to take the vaccine, not only to prove a point, but to protect my family as well. Okay. And also just for us to be able to deal with this pandemic.
There is another question from a listener says, which other African countries, especially in the SADC, that are already having this vaccine?
No, I don't think there's a vaccine in SADC yet.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no vaccine in SADC yet, but South Africa, they were supposed to have the vaccine already. I don't think they have it yet. but they've developed already like a vaccination program in terms of who's first until to the last people. But they haven't, and I haven't seen anything yet in terms of which president has said they will also get vaccinated. We will see. But we'll wait on that. So
now the minister on the 3rd said Namibia and Botswana have signed a bilateral agreement. So if you're from Botswana and you are in Namibia, you are able to get this vaccine. Now, what about other countries and what, like in Namibia, there are people from Zimbabwe, people from Angola.
I know, for instance, Zimbabwe said, I think they said mostly that the vaccine, once it's in them, it will only be for the citizens, that's right. But Namibia said, of course, whoever is in Namibia, or I don't quite remember what the minister said, but if you look at it this way, and I think they need to also have foreign nationals vaccinated. Because what if I'm a foreign student? I study. I don't have medical aid. I live in Namibia. Are they now going to stop me from getting vaccinated? I don't think so. Because at the end of the day, we have foreign nationals who are studying here. They need to also be vaccinated to be able to protect other people. So definitely, I know foreign nationals eventually will be vaccinated, but only if it's done at public or at state hospitals, because privately, of course, you have to pay your own way with the vaccine. So this is just me, my thoughts as a journalist, to say that in as much as SADC countries can say, no, we cannot vaccinate foreigners, only Namibians or only South Africans, that won't be possible, because I might be a student in South Africa and I'm Namibian. So will they now snap me from getting vaccinated because I am not a citizen? Eventually, maybe they will start with South African citizens, but they need to move on to other foreign nationals as well. I don't know if I am getting across, but that is just my thought. But the minister did explain as well to say, eventually, or to say, foreign nationals will also be vaccinated.
Yes, you are making sense. Charmaine, any final words to our listener?
Final words is just to say, you know what? Let's read. Guys, I will always post this. If you don't know about the vaccine, if you are skeptical about getting the vaccine, it's not even here yet, but we are already skeptical. Let's just read and read on it. And you can choose. If you don't want to take it, you don't have to take it, because you won't be forced to take it. But if you want to protect your family members, I think I would advise people to take it, But read on it. The same way you take contraceptives and other vaccinations and so forth, it's the same way this vaccine would be, because it was created according to doctors. It was produced at the same, the same way other vaccines were made, So that's just my advice. Just read, and then make a decision, make an informed decision in terms of whether you will take the vaccine,
Well, Charmaine, it's a pleasure having you in my program.
No, thank you very much for having me and for asking me so many questions. Like, it was quite engaging, but thank you very much for making time.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
That was Charmaine Ngatjiheue, a journalist from the Namibian, where we maneuvered more into the topic. As I've said earlier, that you need to listen, and you need to listen to understand. Those are two different sentiments. You can listen, then you don't understand. But if you listen to understand, then you are taking something out of it. There were clear information that we got from Charmaine. People are saying, why did the Namibian Twitter only use people abroad? But for example, Dr. Nangula Hopwood, he's a Namibian who is based in British. But at least he is inspiring people and saying people, I got mine. So please don't be afraid of the vaccine. So at least Dr. Nangula Hopwood is a Namibian, and the vaccine, he or she took the vaccine. Why not you in Namibia if the vaccine comes? Why do you want to risk your family? I'm not saying you should go and take the vaccine. Like Charmaine said, it's voluntarily. It's voluntarily. It's for you to say, I want to go and take the vaccine, or I do not want. But you need to think critical. You need critical thinking in terms of protecting yourself, protecting your family. You might say, no, I'm not going to take. But later, your family will be at risk. So it's upon yourself to see. Now, me as Kamushemo, as a journalist, each and every day I'm meeting new people, talking to new people. Do I want to risk my job and my life? So it's upon to you yourself. You are a shopkeeper. Each and every day, each and every hour, each and every minute, you are meeting a new person, a new customer. Do you want to risk your life? You are a teacher. You are teaching learners that are going home. You don't know with whom are they going to meet. Are you willing to risk your life? Those are only questions that I'm throwing upon to you as a listener. Back in the days, Okini Kini, we are. It's in the album of Skelly, Lady Skelly, 6 minutes to 1 o'clock. As they say, Sherero, Oshika Bishoshi, Shikasewa Mashishata. And not forgetting that follow our Facebook page, which is Omaheke Radio, and also follow my Facebook page, which is Edwin Duga Mushomo. They are good, quite very interesting news from Omaheke Radio that are coming through. By wrapping up, I'll be saying you can only minimize COVID-19 by wearing a mask, sanitizing your hand, keeping social distance. There is no other way. If you wear a mask, sanitize your hand, keep social distance. Yeah. You're on the safe side. You'll be on the safe side. So please, those are the only. And remember, if you are wearing a washable mask, you should wash your mask. And these other masks, people are wearing these other masks for 2 weeks, my friend. No. So from me to Mushamo, and with my colleague who was not on air but was giving me advices and also doing some production work for me, who is the name, not now, with time. Until next week, Friday again, from me, Edwin Duga Mushamo, it's bye-bye.